So here's the deal. I purchased the cheapest Duramax that I can find on Marketplace, and there she sits, a 2003 2500 HD Chevrolet Silverado with a Duramax diesel engine in it. The truck is nasty, rusty and crusty. Over the last 20 years of this truck being driven in the state of Michigan, it's disgusting, so I went ahead and completely descaled the frame. I restored this 20-year-old frame to pretty much what it looks like as you see now. Not only does this truck belong in a scrapyard, but the engine doesn't run, so I went ahead and pulled the engine, and I used an older engine that did run from one of my other builds. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble as much as I possibly can today in this video, get all the nice shiny parts on there, and of course I wanna explain to you guys what the direction of this build is actually headed towards. If you don't know, I'm not going crazy, 2 turbos, 1,000 horsepower. This is gonna be a stock truck. And the biggest question, what type of turbo am I actually going to install in this truck if it's going to be stuck? As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to tune this vehicle. This is going to be sort of a budget build minus the flashy, shiny HSP parts. But some of the parts that I'm installing are almost going to be necessary since I have the cab off the frame right now. But the big question, what is actually going on with the old engine? Now we know that it didn't skip timing, but the engine was making a super loud, weird noise coming from it when it was running. So it makes you wonder, are the push rods bent? Since I'm going to be pulling the valve covers anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pull the push rods and I'm going to see if there's anything bent. And if that's the case, then more than likely we got some smacked valves and the engine's junk anyways. So definitely watch this video from start to finish as we build this truck and we check out the other engine and see the carnage, see if there's any carnage. I know I promised you that I'd get this truck started by Christmas, but unfortunately I got super sick and this is my first day actually getting back to the job. So we're back in the garage and like I said, this is a stock build. So let's go ahead and talk really quickly about the Ryan's Diesel Service Turbo. Now this is called a Pro Stock Turbo and this is gonna go for your 01s to 2004 LB7 Duramaxes. And I gotta give a special shout out to Ryan's Diesel Service. If you guys are interested in purchasing a turbo, definitely reach out to those guys out there and let them know I sent you. Usually most turbos that I run on all my diesel trucks come from them. And some of the angles that I'm going with this without actually tuning the vehicle, and they recommended the Pro Stock Charger. Not only is it going to sound good, actually this LB7 will whistle a little bit upon high RPM. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. This is a non-VGT turbo, so it will not actually sound like my LBZ Duramax where it screams. But at high RPMs, you can definitely hear this 10-blade turbine. So this is a 6-blade compressor wheel. The back end is a 10-blade. Let's go ahead and pull this off really quick. Right there. And the reason why this turbo is a little more efficient, it's because of its lighter rotating assembly. It does come with a pre-adjusted wastegate as well, so you don't have to mess with anything. It's simply a direct drop-in turbo. There's nothing that you need to do. And like I said, I don't even have to tune the thing. This is going to be the biggest performance upgrade that I'll be doing to the truck. This and a lift pump. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and plug away at this thing, see how much we can get done. I'm gonna start working on this engine, putting all this together. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking, and then we'll go ahead and get into all the upgrades. Everything that I've bought, everything that I've gotten for this truck, I'm gonna show it to you right now in this video. So let's go ahead and get working. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this thing down. I'm gonna go ahead and just time lapse everything. It's a lot of work. Not only am I tearing it down, but I'm cleaning up parts, I'm cleaning up lines. Instead of going black, I went with a gray, so some black accents. But other than that, this truck's ready to go. I'm gonna start sealing the intake runners to the heads. Of course, install the Y bridge, and last but not least, get that Ryan's Diesel Service Turbo installed on this thing. But moving right along, let's go ahead and get to work. We had several injector cups stay with the injectors, unfortunately, but the good news is that the injectors are actually in really good shape, as expected, since they should be brand new. But judging by the supply fitting here, just looking down in the fitting, there was absolutely no debris, so it looked really good. But unfortunately, we got to remove these injector sleeves. Man, these are really on there. Yeah, give her a little more heat. Oh, by the way, that's how you remove an injector sleeve if you care. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Ugh. That looks good. Nice and clean. Something was hanging up though. Last one. We only had 3. Actually, that's quite a bit, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be nasty to clean. Oh, that's sick. So here's part of the tedious effort of trying to restore a truck here. Basically every single little nut and bolt, I usually just wire wheel. So it looks like that, and it used to look like that. Now after that's done, of course, we don't want to leave that exposed, so I do touch it up with some black spray paint, just go right over it. It looks really nice when I'm done with it. But these bolts are going to be for the lower valve covers, so you absolutely will see that, as well as like the intake runners and stuff like that. Like I got to clean all this stuff up. I got a mountain of stuff to clean, so we'll go ahead and get back to you guys when I'm completely done with all this, and we'll start assembling the engine. All right, so we are trucking right along. I went ahead and cleaned up the injectors. Of course, every single part of the injection system is important, but I mean, this is the hardest thing to get to. And that's pretty much what it looks like. I have all the O-rings installed on there, the washers, the hold down brackets. We're all good to go. We're gonna go ahead and install this stuff right now. You're about to witness one of the baddest manifolds on the planet. Check these out, man. These are so nice. They're gonna flow amazing too. I'm really excited to see how they perform. All right, check it out, man. Look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk really quickly about all the stuff that I'm gonna do to this truck, considering it's gonna be pretty much stock. Now, I know when I say stock, I'm using all these flashy parts from HSP, but what I'm really trying to say is the only real performance upgrade that I'm gonna do to this truck is a lift pump and an RDS turbo. That's pretty much it. Everything else as far as bottom end, fueling is basically going to be stock. But I wanted to go ahead and get this out in the sunlight so we can all look at it together before I put the cab back on it. But let's just run through this really quick. But we're definitely going to be doing traction bars on this right here. I'm not going to pull it out of the wrapping until I finally get it installed. I'd hate to scratch those parts. But like, for example, if you look at my Denali, I have HSP traction bars. Now, after leaving HSP Diesel from doing the YouTube video, they actually made these parts in-house. They powder coated everything there. They do all the machining work. It's pretty sweet. And we went with a blue and sort of a grayish, I forgot what it was called. I think it was a GM gray, sort of the pewter look that we're going after with this truck. So this is going to be your cold air intake, your coolant tank. This is going to be the mouthpiece connected to the RDS turbo. Of course, this is your intake right here, and then your, your hot side, your cold side, traction bar brackets. And this is a big thing too. I'm going with a 165 GPH just in case in the future I do want to upgrade my fuel system, which I don't know if I will, but if I do, I have the options. So I can always build off of the lift pump is kind of where I'm getting at. And not only that, we are going with the sump this time. Usually, I know a lot of you guys are asking why I don't sump off a lot of my diesels. There's no real excuse for it. I just don't like drilling holes in fuel tanks, but since I already have the fuel tank off, why not, you know? So we're gonna do that. And by the way, if you guys are interested in purchasing a lift pump for your diesel, if you own a diesel truck, go to my website, and I usually get these shipped off pretty quickly. So if you guys want to purchase one, I am an authorized dealer for AirDog. Not trying to plug this, but it will help somebody, I'm sure. And of course, we have the high flow up pipes. Now these up pipes right here, the expansion bellows are a lot more heavy duty. This will last the lifetime of this truck for sure. You know, actually I kind of messed up here. I should have put the oil dipstick tube through here. I forgot to do that, so I got to take this one off unfortunately and do that. But the dipstick tube runs right in this little hole right here, so I can't worm it through. I did go with the upgraded transmission cooler lines. Those are going to be a big deal. You don't want to reuse the stock ones, of course. The crimps will fill eventually, and most of the time these leak. Not these, but the upgraded ones are the best thing you could do for any diesel truck for sure. And then of course I went with a brand new alternator, brand new AC compressor, a little few odds and ends. I didn't really touch much on this truck, but I went with brand new rotors, calipers. Of course, you know, I did brake lines. Yeah, I mean, it's a must obviously when you're doing this. Went with brand new hoses. So I mean, we're pretty much set up. The only thing I haven't done yet was wheel bearings. I got to get to that, and of course I want to do some HD tie rods in the front, but I'm still kind of pending on what size lift kit I want to go with, or should I just keep it stock? I know I got a lot of feedback from you guys in the comments about maybe doing a 6-inch lift kit, and some people were just saying leave it stuck. I'm not sure. I might do that on the community page on YouTube. Maybe I should do a poll, 6-inch lift kit or leave it stock. Moving right along, this is the engine that we've been picking apart like crazy. Most part, I really don't need anything else on this truck. You know, I got to pull off the drain tube on the turbo once we install that, which I'm going to do here in a second. I'm going to pull that in the garage and we're going to start working. I picked up a fresh set of Texas rust-free doors, tailgate. These are all 4 doors for this cab. Basically, I just need to do the corners, the inners, the outers, stuff like that. Just get all the rust out of there, clean everything up, make it brand new looking again. And believe it or not, the truck, the interior is actually really nice, so I don't really have to do much to the interior, but just clean it up. Of course, you got to do brand new fuel tank straps, because the ones that were on this truck were rusty and nasty, so I had to purchase those. But I gotta say, I'm really digging this color combination with the gray silver with the blue. It looks so nice. I know a lot of you guys are requesting I do a color combination like this, so I'm really excited to see how all this turns out. I'm gonna go ahead and roll this thing back in the garage and keep working on it, and let's see how far we can get. Let's see how much stuff we can get done in this video. So just for visualization, I just put the pipes on there so you guys can see I didn't clamp everything down. But we will talk about all of this in a second. I'm pretty pumped. This is moving along really quickly. But as promised, guys, we're gonna go ahead and see the condition of these push rods. We're gonna see if they're bent. If they're bent, this engine, in my opinion, is basically junk. I'm gonna have to tear it down, get the block machined, and rebuild the engine basically. But I'm very curious to see if some of these are bent. These are the push rods right here that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the valve train right now. All right, let's go ahead and start pulling these out. So far, so good. I haven't seen anything crazy. But just in case, you never know, we have to roll them. All right, let's see what happens. Not the flattest ground, but at least we get an idea. All right, I'd say that cylinder's good. Good. All right, so far so good. Let's go ahead and pull the other side. Yeah, these are all good, man. There's no reason to check this, but whatever. At least we know, right? Nice. All right. Well, now that they're all torn down, I might as well start tearing things down, right? Pull the head. What the heck? Let's pull the heads right now. Let's just see what it looks like underneath there. We might as well. Might as well pull these off now because they're probably gonna fall off. All right, here goes nothing. These pistons actually look really good. This is a good looking engine, man. I mean, just looking for cylinder glazing, but there's definitely some crosshatch left in these cylinder walls. So I'm gonna say the passenger side is good to go. Let's go ahead and flip over the head and look underneath it. So let's see what the valves look like, I guess. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'd say she looks good. I don't see anything weird on the pistons as far as anything smacking it. Valves look good. I don't know, there's some material missing, but it's probably because I just pulled it off the head. Doesn't look terrible though. All right, let's just do the other side. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. As far as cross hatching goes into cylinder walls, you could see it. I've definitely seen better pulling heads. Looking down these bores, but it's still there. Everything looks good. Honestly, I think this is a good running engine. I just think that there was something else going on with it. Maybe it might have been something electrical, I don't know. Maybe I might find out when I start this thing up because I'm using the same wiring harness. But if it's just electrical, it's not a huge deal to me. Looking at the valves, everything looks good. Nothing bad, man. I mean, head gasket still looks good. Like I said, if there's something that you're saying that I'm not, I don't see anything terrible just by visually inspecting it. All the pistons are in good shape. Nothing's cracked. I was kind of hoping to find a cracked piston so we could validate what's going on with this thing. This is a 3-inch downpipe. This is just an old downpipe that I have laying around in the garage. It's perfectly fine. It's used. I put it on this truck a long time ago. She's looking very nice. I'm so pumped about this. Give me like 3 hours and I'll have this truck turnkey ready. Honestly, it'll be running, no issues at all. I'm whooped. I am whooped. This took me a long time. I'm very thankful that I'm in better health now. Everything's good, so I can keep moving. But unfortunately, we can't get it started in this video. Definitely subscribe. Also, do me a favor. I don't have an exhaust system for it yet. So when I go to start it, I won't have an exhaust on it. So let me know in the comments again what you guys personally think. What should I go with, 4-inch or 5-inch? Let me know. I'm gonna go with the majority in the comments, 4 or 5-inch. I don't want it to be excessively loud, but I definitely want a nice little growl. Trust me, I'm no stranger to this stuff. I know what it sounds like with an LB7 Duramax engine with a 4 or a 5-inch. This actually has a 4-inch exhaust on it, believe it or not, with the 2 turbos. And it sounds amazing. I'm a big fan of it actually because it's not so drony, but a 5-inch actually might make it sound a little bit better considering I'm not tuning it or anything like that. But with this 10-blade RDS turbo, regardless, it's gonna sound amazing. But yep, another day in the books. This pile of junk Duramax that belongs in a scrapyard is definitely coming along, as you guys can tell. So before I close out this video, stock or 6-inch lift kit, I'm about ready to pull the trigger and order one. You just let me know. Should I go stock right height with the traction bars, or should I do a 6-inch lift? Either way, I need to know, because if I go 6-inch, I have to wait to install the traction bars at that point, because then the geometry is going to be a little different with the rear end, because it will be sitting on blocks in the rear. And then of course, let me know in the comments 4 or 5-inch exhaust. That should wrap this up. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to keep moving on this.